I was watching something about the civilizations on Prime Video this morning. I was talking about Alexander the Great. They were not going deep into anything, but it was about how to connect stories and see the possibility of alternatives. I don't know how it continues, but that's the most important point for me. Not how detailed they are, because they are recognizing that different authors will be giving different dates, different quantities, different reasons, different deaths. So the history is quite liquid because it depends on so many points of view, so many perspectives. And the Greeks, in a way, were the most powerful civilization in regards to philosophy. For many reasons, but none of them, for many reasons, but I found the one that hyper mega connects with all the things in history. And it is that the better the way they were as philosophers, from Aristotle, Alexander the Great, and the society in that moment, it was not a democracy, it was not an imperium yet, it was not, but only men could vote, women couldn't vote. And then those men, less than 2% were considered citizens to be able to vote. So you are reducing who's got the power, who's got the, like, all the time. It's simply to watch. And these Greeks, with this amazing knowledge of the logic, philosophy, rational thoughts, understanding, making questions, and I'm talking from Aristotle, not from before. I'm talking from that society in which women were only to procreate, nothing else. The sex was with men. All philosophers had their disciples and their lovers. Many of them didn't have children. They get married to have children. That's it. So the woman doesn't have the power of the sex like she's having now. And the woman is not accepted as a philosopher as is having now. And the thing is that the Greeks were so based into the gods, rational mind and knowledge, that was their universe, more or less. These women, they didn't have the knowledge. They didn't know if they were practicing rational mind, because they didn't have many people to practice with. So they had whatever men are never going to get, studying or working hard or ignoring women, or it doesn't matter what they do. They are missing the magical, the quantum perspective. Today, women and men have lost it. This quantum perspective that some women had in those years is completely diluted, because everybody are born the same way, diluted by the paraphernalia surrounding you, your culture, your leisure, even your job. Everything that makes you become part of a group that you don't even know what group you are, because you don't even know who you are. The more people focus on these stupid kinds of differentiations like men, woman, I can have so many stories that they are what? It's not a female or male perspective at all. That's the two poles of the same spectrum. And when you see it all, I can show, as I did yesterday several times, with different concepts. And the abstraction of the abstraction of the abstraction, it is on everything, every single thing. It can be, of course, on a stone. The stone can have this abstraction of abstraction of abstractions, and know even 1,000 million years ago that this was part of a bigger rock. So men and or brackets women, why? Why? Even if plants are understanding, I'm not mentioning plants, they are all what? The receivers of the message, people. You cannot use that word because it's not very well defined in that. That's how they started, the philosophers, but they define, oh, how can we make a pattern out of this? They try to go higher and higher and higher, and then they thought, okay, a human is a bipedian, 2 legs and no feathers, because 2 legs is all the birds, but no feathers, so that would be a human. And then another philosopher said featherless chicken, and said, here you are your own humans. There is always something like that whenever we are always talking with words, with narrow concepts, with concepts not narrow, that they are so static that they mean this now, but in the future may mean something else that today doesn't exist. And people, by translating it, will be losing the translation. And that's how the civilizations have been growing in a way. So some ways it would have been like that, and some others always through war. But the other one that I was explaining about the powerful people, powerful, I mean a minority, and then men and women. There are many reasons why it is this differentiation, but it can never be undone, because people feel so proud of being men, so proud of being women. Be proud of being able to feel the whole spectrum. You don't have to belong to any team, because you as a woman, there are many women that they don't understand you, they hate you, and some few men that understand you much more. Same to any men with other men and women. But the more polarized you are, the more people like you, only like you find, and the rest is evil, because you think 100% of your world is that side of the spectrum. Just like for everyone, they are all living in this side of the spectrum, not being aware how the spectrum can be modified, because it depends on how many perspectives that you didn't know, and now you accept like a normal thing. Because who told you what is normal and what is not? So the normal thing is that women don't have the power